Namaskar. Welcome back to the example number 10 for the event abroad travel. This example we discussed in detail in the previous video, wherein we discussed on a male chart who traveled abroad for his PhD work. And after his completion of the PhD, then he came back and again he got a job in abroad as a scientist and travel in the favorable period. So after that, he settled in abroad itself. So we had a detailed discussion with the help of the EPS table and key planets, how the destiny is favorable, and the star periods are all supportive for travel and also settled in abroad. So in this video, the same chart we are going to study with the help of the PILT table with the key planets techniques, how we can identify the strength of the destiny and the star periods, PILT connections, ruler links, everything we are going to discuss. So let us examine the same example, example number 10 with the PILT table. Example number 10, abroad travel for PhD and also job, and finally settled in abroad. We are going to study this example with the help of the PILT table. Now let us examine the birth chart with the help of the PILT table. This is the birth chart of that male we discussed, example number 10. Now we are going to study with the PILT table. So in the previous video itself, while we are doing the EPS analysis, we had given the respective colors for the planets as per our study on the self-significations. Now we are on the PILT table. And the PILT table, you can see the key planets shades have been given by the software itself as per the program. But we can also make use of these key planet shades and for our process, or we can use our self-significator colors, what we have manually given. So I am using this one, and we can use this one. And what we can do, we have selected the respective colors for the event abroad travel for the studies. That is for PhD also, the studies only. So we have chosen the respective colors. And what we can do now, either we can select the favorable key planets or unfavorable key planets in the all levels and check whether destiny planet is having the favorable or unfavorable. Similarly, the sub periods. That way also we can select the required key planets and select their role in the respective levels. We can do that way also. We can do it. And or we can do KP check all, means we can give these colors to all the planets so that we can also study, without selecting individual planets, we can study as it is also. Especially when we are having some unfavorable key planets or strongly present, we can check those planets alone separately, or favorable key planets only present one or two only, to know their influence we can check those alone separately. So according to your convenience, you can make use of this tool. So now what I will do for this example, I will use KP check all. Before that, I will choose the use EPS colors. It means the colors whatever we have given here, no, that in the EPS table for the EPS study we gave, no, those colors I want to use instead of the KP shades of the software. Now all the colors whatever we have chosen, that has been given in all the grids of all the planets in the rulers and supports. Now what we have to do, we have to check the destiny. 9th sublord Mercury and 12th sublord, 11 and 12 and 11th lord Saturn, and 9 and 12 star lord Jupiter. So these are all green planets. We can check these planets and we can check their what the destiny it is indicating. So let us start with the Mercury, 9th sublord. Mercury planet, you check the rulers of the Mercury. What we can do with this now, Mercury is good, and Mercury having got all other, whether all planets are having favorable key planets or in supports. Jupiter is there, Saturn is there, right? Our green planets, 3 green planets, no? Is Venus also green. So that is not there, but Mercury having all the remaining key planets. And the star lord Sun also blue planet. So while we are doing such study, we can keep open that self-signification table so that we can see the houses also for our better understanding. Okay, so now Sun is having 581. It is supportive for studies and also travel. And you can see that Sun is got Jupiter and Mercury. So that way it is having that favorable key planets in its supports. It means what? The star level planet is blue, but having all the three key planets in the supports. 2A level planet Venus, that is another favorable key planet. Again, Saturn is present. Sublord planet is light blue. It is only supportive, not bad. It is a supportive planet. That is also having that Venus and Jupiter and Saturn in rulers. And star lord of the sublord is Mercury. That again, it is having this. So it means what? That 9 sublord planet in the star and sub of favorable key planet. So that is indicating supportive for travel abroad. Those star lord and sublord are having some weakness or not strongly favorable key planet, supportive key planet, having got other favorable key planet in their supports. That way it is favorable. Moreover, you can see Mercury is forming ruler link to the star lord. You can see this, no, because Mercury is here and Mercury is here. So that way they are all forming ruler link also. That is also favorable. So now we have studied the 9th sublord. Now we have to study the 12th sublord. Saturn, 12th sublord and 11th sublord, Lagna sublord, everything. Saturn is having Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Not Mars, not much important, that Jupiter. And star lord is Jupiter, 12 level is Jupiter, again Saturn, Jupiter, all the green planets, primary cuspal rulers, key planets are playing role for the destiny planet, 12 sublord. So that itself is very good. And you can see they are also forming ruler link. You can Saturn is here, star level planet is forming ruler link, and Jupiter also forming here. So they are all having rulers link also. It is strongly supportive. Destiny is strongly supportive for travel abroad. That we are able to identify with this. Now, once we have identified the Jupiter, we have to check the 9 and 12 cuspal lord. Yes, of course, all the planets rulers are ruled by Jupiter, and you can see that Saturn is playing role as a Rasi lord, and in supports Mercury also playing. So all the planets, the rulers of the 9th house, 12th house, and 9th lord, 12th lord, all are having these favorable key planets in their rulers. So that way it is strongly favorable for long travel. Right? So now among them, which are the favorable key planets that we have to see? We can see Saturn, Jupiter are strongly playing, and Mercury there in supports. So we can see that destiny planets are having the all the favorable key planets. So what are the other unfavorable key planet destiny planet is having? So destiny planet is 9th sublord planet is having Sun. Sun is not having unfavorable, and Venus is having 8th house. You can see Venus is having 8th house, Ketu is having 8th house, and the Moon is having 4th sublords, but Moon is not straight. Moon is there in the support of the Mercury. So only the 4th house, 8th house, they are not unfavorable for travel abroad for the studies. Okay, but it can cause some obstacles for the long stay also if they are strongly playing role in the dasa, and Bugdi also if it is supporting. Anyway, now let us we can see that all the favorable key planets are ruling the destiny. Now we have to focus on the dasa lord. What is the dasa lord? Dasa lord at the time of travel was Jupiter dasa. The native, when he was completing his post graduation, he was running Rahu dasa, Mercury Buddhi. So now he was trying to do his PhD in abroad. Once he completed in Rahu dasa, Mercury Buddhi, he wanted to go abroad. So whether Ketu is favorable, that way we have to check it. But before that, we have to check whether Rahu is favorable for traveling abroad. Yes, Rahu in the star of Saturn, sub of Jupiter, and all forming ruler link. The Saturn is present and Mercury also present all levels. So that way, the Dasalad Rahu is favorable. Now, in the Dasalad Rahu, next step is what? Which are the favorable key planet is favoring for the Rahu for travel abroad. So Saturn and Jupiter. Jupiter is repeated more than Jupiter. Saturn is a strong favorable key planet because Saturn is the dark green planet and 11 and 12th, 11th lord and 12th cuspal sublord. So Saturn is important key planet. So that way we have to keep it in mind that Buddhi Lord should have the Saturn and Jupiter in its rulers to favor for the event. That Buddhi Lord should have these key planets of the Dasa Lord in its rulers. So if you see that in Mercury, he completed, but Mercury is not having that Saturn or Jupiter in its ruler, and Ketu is having Jupiter in the sublevel, but Ketu is not having that Saturn in its ruler. At least in the star level, planet level, it is having that Saturn in the supports. We can think that is not there. Moreover, these Ketu, Moon are only blue planets. So both three levels are ruled by blue planets. No green is present and no Saturn is present. It is not strong. So look at Venus. Venus is green and star level blue, but 2A level is again green. Sub level is Saturn, the favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord. Saturn is playing role here, and Jupiter also playing role at the star lord of the sub lord. And moreover, you can see that the star level planet, it is having blue only, but that sun is fifth lord occupying eighth house, Lagna star lord. This is supportive for PhD education, all these things, fifth house and occupying eighth house also favorable. And moreover, you can see that Jupiter, Saturn and Jupiter are forming ruler link to the star lord. You can see this. Venus, second planet, that is Venus, star lord planet Sun, is having weakness, but it is having all the key planets in its support and forming ruler link also. Saturn and Jupiter are forming ruler link. So that way, this planet, Venus, is having the important favorable key planet Saturn in its sublord and star lord of the sublord, and also forming ruler link to the star lord, and also source planet, and the Venus also a favorable key planet. So that way, this is favorable. So Rahu Dasa, Venus Bukti is favorable. In Venus Bukti, that native has to travel abroad in a favorable Antra. So Antra Lord should have the key planets of the Bukti Lord, and other favorable key planets also will be there. And in Antra Lord, any key planet is missing in the Bukti Lord to complete the chain. So you see, the purpose of travel is for studies, right? So that studies is not indicated strongly, though it is indicating fifth house at the star level. That important planet house, fourth house is not strongly playing. So the Bukti Lord, under the Bukti Lord, the Antra Lord, it is indicating fourth house, and also abroad will travel Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury are present, then that is going to be very good. If that is the case, you can see Sun is not strongly favorable, and you can see Moon. Moon is the fourth lord and also fourth cuspal sublord, 4, 5, 10, 4. That Moon is in star and 2A level is Moon. That is the purpose of travel. That is further supported by Mercury, our favorable key planet of the, in general, favorable key planet, and also Jupiter is present. Key planet of the Bukti Lord, Jupiter is present, and Saturn is present. Jupiter, Saturn are playing. So this Antra favored the native to travel abroad for his PhD during Rahu Dasa, Venus Bukti, Moon Antra. So Rahu's strong favorable key planet Saturn and Jupiter are playing role here. Along with that, other rulers are forming favorable key planets and forming ruler link. And within that book, the one Antra, which is having the key planet of the Bukti Lord. Saturn is not directly playing, but Jupiter, Saturn is playing role here. Mercury also playing. And that Mercury also playing in the all levels. That planet, Moon, is not the ruler of the Bukti Lord. but that is the purpose of that, I mean, travel, that is fourth lord. It is favoring. So that way, during Venus, Moon, he traveled abroad for his PhD. So he completed his PhD after Venus, then he completed his PhD in Mars Bugdi. Ragudasa, Mars Bugdi, and Mercury Antra he completed. You can see Mars are present. So during Ragudasa, Mars Bugdi, Mercury Antra, he completed his studies, his PhD. But after that, he could not stay there because you can see that Mars Bugdi under the Rahu Dasa, it is not having the key planet of the Dasa Lord, Saturn or Jupiter in the rulers. It is having, they are present in the supports, but it is having some weak ruler at these two levels. So Mars present here also, that way it is indicating some weakness. And also you can see Ketu having 8th house and Venus having 8th house. They are also playing role. So that way it is indicating some weakness, not strongly favorable to stay there. And after Mars, during Mars Bugdi, Mercury Antra, after that Ketu Antra, he came back homeland. Because you can see Ketu in the star of Moon. Moon is good for travel abroad for studies, but same time, Ketu occupying 8 and 3 in the star of Moon. Moon is, you can see 4 and 4. So this is supportive for to come back homeland also. So that way, because Bugdi Lord is not very strong, Andhra Lord also supportive for comeback. So that way, during that period, he came back. Please understand these colors we have given for the purpose of travel, for the purpose of studies. Because of that, only we are given that fourth house is blue color, that moon. Otherwise, for the long stay and all, if you take travel, if you take moon, definitely the fourth house sublord definitely would have given this one is light red, or we would have given that pink also, because it is fourth house indicating some weakness, because it is not having any favorable house for travel abroad. So that color has been given, event is for studies, no? That is the reason it is supportive for the studies, given blue. Otherwise, would have given light red or pink. So because of that, Mars and Ketu, he returned homeland. After that, Mars is over, then Jupiter Dasa, Ragu Dasa over, and Jupiter Dasa started. Jupiter, if you look at Jupiter, all levels are ruled by Jupiter, supported by all the planets. It is good. But if you look at Jupiter alone, it is, you can see this Jupiter is 8, 9, 12, 10, 11, 3 and 11. It is supportive for his research work, professional prospects. It is supportive. But it is not strongly, it is supportive for travel also, but it needs that important planet to get a job in abroad. I mean, it needs some additional strong favorable Bugdi. Jupiter is favorable for long travel, and moreover, it is supportive for research work. So during Jupiter, he was there in India, and he was doing research work as a scientist in a company in India. After that, in Jupiter, Saturn, you can see Saturn is having all the key planets, favorable key planets of of traveling abroad. That too, it is having all 10th house, 11th house. You can see Jupiter's 10 and 11. That Saturn itself, 10th Lord, 11th Lord, second. They are all favorable for the professional prospects. So this Saturn, Bugdi was very favorable, and he traveled abroad. He got the job in Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, and Saturn Antra itself. He got the job he moved to US and for his job, and after that he settled there itself. Because you see, at the time of he traveled abroad for the job, he was running Jupiter Dasa. Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, initiated his travel abroad to join the job. Then after that, you can see Jupiter is very favorable, and Saturn, every planets are favorably connecting to the Jupiter and Saturn. So it was not supportive. It was very much supportive for him to stay there for the job. After that, now he's running Saturn Dasa from last year. Saturn, yes, it is very good. So it is still it is supportive for him to stay there. So because these two consequent Dasa periods are strongly favorable for the abroad travel and presence in abroad itself, that to destiny planet itself is indicating is strongly supportive for the native to stay there and settle in abroad itself. I think you're able to understand how we are able to use this PILT table, and making use of the key planets. We can find the key planets in the rulers, and also importantly, the Salat, Destiny's key planet in the Salat, the Salat's key planet is Bugdilat. That is most important. I think you're able to understand. We will meet in the next video. Thank you. Good luck.